The art of filmmaking involves several often complex and sometimes understated stages. Most films begin with the spark of an idea that grows into a series of key moments and is eventually formed into a workable script. The first stage is called the development phase. Here, the screenwriting and idea forming process leads to pre-production, which has multiple steps within itself. Casting, securing funds, location scouting, set building, hiring crew members, and much more. Then we head into the production phase. This is where the actual footage is shot. The bulk of the main footage that is shot here is often referred to as principal photography. Next, we head into the post-production phase, which is my personal favorite part of the process. Here, all the footage that was shot is edited together, color graded, sound effects are added, and visual effects are used to bring the film into its final form. After the film is complete, it's time for the world to see it. The final stage is the distribution phase. Here, the marketing for the film takes place. Marketing can consist of social media posts, trailer releases, cast appearances on talk shows, and then the film is screened in theaters or released to streaming platforms. Once the film is out in the wild, it's time to start the whole process over again. Let's look at each individual phase of the filmmaking process in even more depth so that we can all have a better understanding of this medium that we all love. In the world of Hollywood, the development phase is spearheaded by film studios, whose top executives interact with producers, screenwriters, directors, and actors to find stories and ideas that they think are going to make them the most money. Ideas and stories are often adapted from real-world issues, the media, novels, plays, comics, video games, and much more. And often these days, a lot of movies are remakes of older beloved movies for hopes of a cash grab, leaning into nostalgia. Often, producers are paired with writers to develop story ideas for film studios, and screenplays can also be sold to film studios who are looking for stories in a specific genre. Many times, after a script is decided upon, it may go through multiple rewrites before it's finally given the green light to proceed into the pre-production phase. For independent filmmakers like many of you watching this video, the development process will be much more straightforward, with us toiling away at a shot list or script, often collaborating with a writing buddy or producing partner until we are satisfied and move on to the next phase. In the larger Hollywood world, the pre-production process is a series of carefully planned steps and designs. Many options are available for large Hollywood film studios, and the studios spend tons of money in bringing their projects to life. Here, all the planning must take place before any footage is captured. Often during this phase, a production company will be formed, offices are set up and established, and the first crew members will start to be hired. At this point, a director is often already involved along with the film's producers, and concept artists will be brought in to help the production team visualize the story alongside the director. Once the flow of the story is settled upon, the team can begin to put together a plan for the film's budget, how much the film will cost, and what they will need to bring the film to life. This includes set design, costumes, cast, on-set crew, locations, VFX expenses, and even the catering expenses. Other more business-oriented things will take place here as well, like securing insurance coverage for the production in case of accidents, securing shooting permits for locations, and other housekeeping tasks. Somewhere in this process, the producers of the film will hire a line manager or a production manager to figure out the shooting schedule of the film and put together the final budget. During this process, a casting director will be hired, and the film's cast will be decided upon and hired. And the rest of the film's crew will be hired as well. Large Hollywood productions can consist of hundreds of cast and crew members, but smaller productions usually consist of a few key members to get the job done. These positions are some of the most important: the director, storyboard artists and concept artists, producers, location managers, production designers, costume designers, casting directors, makeup and hair designers, choreographers, directors of photography, production sound mixers, sound designers, composers, the assistant director, and the unit production manager, just to name a few. Once the core cast and crew are assembled, the shooting schedule and shot list are all in order, it's now time to head to set and start the production phase. Now everything is ready to capture principal photography. During this phase, the production team will try to stick to the production schedule as closely as possible, plan for any future shoots, and adapt to any changes that need to be made on the daily. One of the main goals during the production phase, aside from capturing the main bulk of photography, is to stick to the film's original budget. Additional crew members are sometimes brought on during this phase, including the prop master, videographers for behind-the-scenes footage, still photographers, script supervisors, and sound editors. Call times are established for each day of the shoot, which notify the cast and crew of when to arrive on set for the day of filming. Since not every cast or crew member is needed for the same period, call times help to make sure people are only on set for the time they are needed and are on set and ready when they are needed. Crew members like the grip and production design team members will set up electrical work and set designs ahead of the camera crew for each shot, always trying to stay one step ahead to ensure that the day runs smoothly and on schedule. While the crews are preparing their equipment for each shot, the actors are usually in the process of working with hair and makeup and costume departments, getting any makeup and costume work camera ready. During this time, the actors and directors may rehearse the scenes and block them out, which entails going through the motions of actor and camera movement on set. Here, the final preparation is made to the camera, lighting, and sound before shooting begins. Here is the typical procedure for most Hollywood productions when filming a scene. First, the assistant director or the AD will call out for everyone to be quiet and get ready using the phrase, "Picture is up," and then, "Quiet on the set." Once ready to shoot, the AD will call out, "Roll sound," and notify the sound mixer to begin recording sound with his equipment. The mixer will record an audible slate signifying the take's information and verbally announce, "Sound speeding," once they are ready. The AD then calls back, "Roll camera," and the camera operator should verbally call back, "Speeding," or speed to signify that he is recording. Now, one of the most famous parts of the process, the clapper loader, who should be standing in front of the camera at this time with a clapper board containing scene and production information, should call out the scene marker and slap the clapper shut. If the scene involves any extras or background action, the AD will then cue them with the words, "Action background." Then the film's director will call out the famous words, "And action," to cue the scene, and the AD may call out the words "action" as well if it is a very large set with lots of people. The scene continues filming until the director calls, "Cut." Then the camera and sound stop recording. At this point, the script supervisor will note any scene continuity issues and present it to the director, and the sound and camera crews will log any technical notes. More takes of the same scene can follow, following the same process until the director is satisfied and the crew can move on to the next scene. Once the director is satisfied, the scene is called a wrap. "That's a wrap," or the phrase "moving on" is called out. After that, the scene and set can be broken down and the crew can move on to the next setup. At the end of the shooting day, the director will go over and approve the next shooting schedule. Report sheets for continuity, sound, and camera can be looked over, and call sheets are distributed to the cast and crew for the next shooting day. Then, select members of the crew and sometimes the cast will gather to watch any footage that was shot that day to review the work and see if anything needs to be reshot. This footage review is called dailies. The filming process can feature long, arduous work hours, especially on tight deadlines in remote locations. It is paramount that the cast and crew work together as a team and keep each other in high spirits. At the end of the production phase, it is customary for the production to hold a wrap party to celebrate the completion of filming, unwind, and to thank the cast and crew for their hard work. Sometimes, depending on the film's schedule, the post-production process can start even before principal photography ends. During this time, the film's editor will review the footage alongside the director and assemble the film into a completed story. During this process, the sound effects and music are arranged and mixed as well, and any musical compositions are recorded if the film is set to have a musical score. Also during this phase, visual effects along with color correction and color grading are performed. In today's filmmaking world, the time and money spent on visual effects can amount to a huge portion of the film's budget during the post-production phase. Once the film is completed and has approval from the director and the studio, the film is considered locked and moves into the distribution phase. Distribution is the final step in the filmmaking process where a film is finally released to the world. Marketing materials like posters, press kits, and teaser trailers are released to help build hype for the film before it's released. For larger productions, the film's star cast may do sit-down interviews and attend premieres to help promote buzz about the new film. The film is then shown in cinemas, premieres at film festivals, and can be released to digital streaming platforms. If required, the film is duplicated into physical media format like DVD and Blu-ray and sold in stores. After the film has had its run in theaters, it may then go on to be released to purchase in stores or released to view on digital media formats, and sometimes it may even be a combination of all these things combined all at once. After the film has had its limelight in theaters and its time in home video, it may have its rights released worldwide for further distribution. The distributor and the film's production company will now either share in the profits, or if the film did very poorly, they may have to manage losses. Now we've seen the general overview of the filmmaking process in larger productions, and that's great information to have and to study. But most of us are independent filmmakers. The beauty of the day and age that we live in allows independent filmmakers like you and I to be able to complete and control almost every aspect of the filmmaking process all on our own. The technology and tools available to us today for filmmaking are mind-blowing. We can conceptualize, create, shoot, edit, and release a film from start to finish just using the smartphone in our pockets and online resources. Don't get me wrong, creating a quality film and doing all of this work on your own can be a huge undertaking, and a lot of weight for one or a few people to handle all by themselves. But the opportunity is there for you to step out on your own, create a film you are proud of, and share it with the world. There are no barriers holding us back as independent filmmakers anymore. I hope this video has informed you and hopefully inspired you to get out there and create your next film project. Thank you so much for watching. Hey guys, it's Ryan. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Please, before you leave, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It's the best and easiest way to help this channel grow. And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're going to like this video just as much. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.